Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. Most people spend their lives chasing money. You wake up, go to work, get paid, and pay the bills, then do it all again. That's what Rich Dad called the rat race. An endless loop of earn, spend, repeat. And the more you run, the faster it spins. Why do people stay stuck in it? Two big emotions: fear and greed. Fear makes people work hard because they're scared of not paying the bills. Then, when the money comes in, greed takes over. They want new clothes, a car, or a bigger house. So they spend, then worry again, and keep working for more. The rich think opposite. They don't work for money. They make money work for them. That means using their brains to create income instead of trading time for a paycheck. It's not about how hard you work. It's about how smart your money works. Imagine every dollar as an employee. Your goal is to make each one go out, find more dollars, and come back with friends. That's how the rich play the game. The author learned this lesson as a kid. Robert worked for Rich Dad for just 10 cents an hour, then later for free. At first, he was angry. He felt cheated. But Rich Dad was teaching him something deeper. If you only think about a paycheck, you stop thinking about opportunity. When Robert finally stopped chasing pay, his mind opened up. He and his friend Mike saw a way to make money on their own. They collected old comic books and started a comic book library for kids in the neighborhood. That little idea made money even when they weren't working. The point is simple but powerful. Learn to control your emotions, fear and desire. Always ask yourself, you need it or you want it? So they don't control your money choices. Once you do that, you stop working for money and start letting money work for you. Because, as Rich Dad said, the poor and middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. So ask yourself, are you controlling your money or is your money controlling you? Lesson 2. Why teach financial literacy? People always talk about, I want to be rich. But in reality, even if you have million income, doesn't mean you are a millionaire. Rich Dad had one rule. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. Most people don't know what that really means because no one ever taught them financial literacy, how money actually works. So here's the simple truth. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. The rich spend their time buying assets, things that make them money even while they sleep. The poor and middle class buy liabilities that look like assets. The biggest example, their house. They think it's an investment, but it constantly drains money. Mortgage payments, taxes, insurance, and repairs. Rich Dad said, if your house makes you richer, why do you have to keep paying for it? He pointed to families who were house poor, living in beautiful homes, but stress out every day, working overtime just to keep the lights on. He'd shake his head and say, they're not living in a home. The home owns them. That's why so many people work hard their whole lives but never get ahead. Their cash flow always moves the same way. Poor people earn money from a job, then watch it vanish into rent, food, and taxes. Middle-class people make more, but lose it to mortgages, car loans, and credit cards. They think their home is an asset, but it's really a bill that never stops. Rich people, on the other hand, let their assets, like rental properties, stocks, or small businesses, make money for them. Those assets pay their expenses and still leave extra cash. Then they use that extra to buy more assets. That's how their wealth keeps growing, faster and faster. The lesson is simple but life-changing. Don't just earn money. Learn how to keep it, grow it, and make it work for you. Lesson 3. Mind your own business. Most people spend their whole lives minding someone else's business. They work hard for a company, make their boss rich, and call it a career. That's their profession, what they do for a paycheck. But the rich think differently. They focus on their own business, building things that make them money, not their employer. Rich Dad said, keep your day job, but start building your asset column. That means using your paycheck to buy real assets, not stuff that loses value. True assets include businesses that make money even when you're not there, stocks and bonds that grow or pay dividends, real estate that brings in rent, notes or loans that earn interest, royalties from books, music, or inventions, and anything else that creates income or rises in value over time. The poor and middle class usually do the opposite. They buy luxuries first, new cars, fancy clothes, the latest gadgets, often using credit. Then they spend years paying off debt. The rich buy luxuries last. They let their assets pay for them. That's the difference between working for money and making money work for you. Lesson 4. The history of taxes and the power of corporations. When income tax first started in the US and England, it only targeted the rich. The government sold the idea like a Robin Hood story, take from the rich to help the poor. But over time, the plan changed. As the government wanted more money, taxes spread to the middle class and eventually the poor. Here's the twist. The rich didn't get crushed by taxes. They just learned to play by a different set of rules. Their biggest secret? Corporations. A corporation is one of the most powerful tools the rich use to protect and grow their money. It gives them two major advantages. Tax advantages. A corporation makes money, spends what it needs on business costs, cars, meals, travel, even gym memberships, and only pays tax on what's left. But an employee, they get paid, get taxed first, and then try to live on what's left. Protection from lawsuits. The rich control things without owning them directly. Their houses, businesses, and investments sit under corporations or trusts. That means if someone sues them, their personal money stays safe. The poor and middle class do the opposite. They own everything in their own name, which makes them easy targets. That's why understanding the law is part of being financially smart. The rich don't break rules. They learn the rules and use them to build and protect wealth faster than any employee ever could. Lesson 5. The rich invent money. In real life, it's not the smartest who get rich. It's the creative and brave. Rich people don't wait for the right time. They use their mind to create opportunities. Rich Dad always said, "Your brain is your greatest asset. If you learn how money works, you can make it appear, even when you don't have much." Here's a simple example. Imagine you find a small house for sale. It's been sitting there for months, no buyers, and the owner just wants it gone. Most people walk away because they think they need a lot of money to buy it. But a smart investor thinks differently. He talks to the owner and makes a deal to control the property, not fully buy it yet. Then he finds another buyer who wants that same house. He arranges it so the new buyer pays him in monthly payments. Those payments become his income. He didn't use much of his own money. He didn't even own the house for long. He just connected a seller who wanted to sell and a buyer who wanted to buy, and earned money in the middle by using financial creativity. The rich don't just work for money, they create it with ideas. Lesson 6. Work to learn, not just for money. Most people grow up being told, go to school, get a good job, and stay safe. That's what Poor Dad believed, and it sounds smart, right? But Rich Dad said that kind of thinking can become a trap. Here's why. When you only focus on one job or one skill, you become stuck. If that company or industry changes, your income disappears. You're depending on one narrow skill to survive. Rich Dad taught something different. Don't just work to earn money. Work to learn. Every job should teach you something new that helps you grow. The most powerful skills you can learn are sales and marketing, because no matter what you do, you need to know how to sell, how to talk to people, explain your ideas, and handle rejection without fear. Once you understand how to sell, learn how to manage money, systems, and people. Those are the skills that help you build real wealth. Think about it. A lot of talented people stay broke. They might make the best product, like the best hamburger in town, but if they don't understand how to run a business or attract customers, they never grow beyond that one skill. True wealth doesn't come from being perfect at one thing. It comes from learning a mix of skills: communication, money management, leadership, and creativity. So don't just work for a paycheck. Work to learn something new every time. That's how you build freedom, not just income. If you like this video, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.